Hi and welcome back. In my first year as team vicar, I conducted 28 funerals. I look after 3 open churchyards, one in Quainton, one in Pitchcote and one in Oving. All 3 are in beautiful locations and the sense of the presence of God is tangible in those places. So much so that people often sit in one of the churchyards and have a time of reflection and prayer in these sanctified places. They give such a sense of our own mortality, but also the abundant grace and mercy of God. The words of God, "Do not be afraid," feature many times in the Bible, notably just before and after the death and resurrection of Jesus, when he said to his followers, "Let not your heart be troubled, neither let them be afraid." These words of Jesus lead me often into a funeral service where I can offer hope and peace and a future to the bereaved as we leave their loved ones in the safe hands of a living God. I often come across people who say to me, "I don't do God, church or vicars, but you do, so could you say a prayer for me?" It's interesting that many people still have a sense of something else beyond themselves. Or to use the strapline from the Alpha course, is there more to life than this? And the many people that I meet, particularly in and around the villages, have a sense that there is more to life than this. They don't necessarily translate that into church going, but they love the church and they like to think of it as their own. And so it was that shortly after arriving in Quainton, I was called by a lovely lady who told me about her sick husband. "Can I come and see him?" I asked. "You can try," she said, "but he doesn't do church or vicars or God." I was invited into the house and sat down opposite this delightful elderly gentleman. I was wearing my dog collar. "Hello," I said to him. "My name's Steve. I'm the new vicar." "I know who you are," was the rather brusque reply. "Tell me about your life," I asked in as friendly a way as I could muster. He looked rather bemused for a moment, and then, catching on to the idea, he started telling me his life story, which was fascinating, right from square one to this very day. An hour and a half later, maybe more, he came to the end of his story. I then asked if I could pray with him before leaving. "Okay, why not?" he said. I prayed for him and his wife and left. He asked me back again a couple of weeks later, and then again a few days before he died. I was able to talk to him about God's love for him, and we said the Lord's Prayer together. Before I left, he said to me, "I do believe, you know." It was an encounter I'll never forget and taught me so much about listening, not jumping to conclusions about people, and enabling those at the end of their life to reach out with a simple faith and take hold of God's loving hand. But up next, smashing the myth.